Welcome to Dashway Talks, a show powered by Dashway Consulting, a China-based strategic market research company founded in 2010.
I'm Nicolas Coster. I am a business lawyer, French business lawyer. I have been in China for 16 years. I'm specialized in foreign direct investment. So basically, I set up companies in China and I also sometimes liquidate them.
In which context someone can be laid off?
We have a very specific legal ground to let off somebody. So if you want to let off somebody, you need to check your employee handbook, which will define what are the reasons to let off the employee. If you don't have any employee handbook, that means you didn't define the reason. If you follow the law is very imprecise about laid off. For example, strike in Chinese law is not forbidden, not allowed. So if you want to forbid the strike in your companies, it's possible, but you have to define it in the employee handbook. If you did it and the employees start to a strike, you can dismiss them without compensation. If you didn't do it, it will be very hard for you to let off the employees. So you have to be very, very careful to define. Chinese labor law is not very precise for the definition of laid off. We have some specific case, like for example, economic dismissal, mistake by the employee, a serious mistake, sickness, such kind of things. But at the end, you have to define all the case of the law in the employee handbook to be more precise.
In which context does an employer have to pay double the compensation during a layoff?
The only situation you have to do that is if you consider that the judge or the arbitrator will consider that the laid-off is illegal. If the laid-off is illegal, then it will be double compensation.
In what circumstances are layoffs considered illegal in China?
The main reason could be that you don't have enough evidence. Most of the time when we go to the Labor Commission, the issue is how do you prove that the reason you have is true? How can you prove it? It could be very hard sometimes. If you say the employee is not very competitive, this is not a reason for laid-off. If you say the employee destroy a camera belonging to the company, can you prove it? Do we have the video of the guy destroying the camera? Okay, so the most important when you prepare a laid-off in China is to collect the evidence and to be sure we have enough evidence. And most of the evidences need to be notarized before to go to the Labor Commission. If you don't notarize the evidences like WeChat, like video, like phone call, such kind of things, then it will be also an issue. Okay, so you have to prove that the reason you say is true. So you have material evidence, and you have to prove that the reason you give to let off the employee is in the labor contract or in the employee handbook.
What is the requirement for compensation when an employee is fired from a company?
It depends if there is a good reason or a bad reason to fire you. Okay, if you get fired and with a good reason, there is no compensation. Okay. If this is for a breach of your duties, this is because you steal something in the company, there is no compensation. You don't have the right to any compensation. If you terminate the contract with the company and there is no good reason to fire you, in this case, you will get 1 month of salary per year. If you have 2.5 years working experience with the company, you will be able to get 2.5 months of salaries.
What are the legal requirements to respect when resigning from a company?
So if you resign from the company, first I don't advise you to resign, because if you resign, you don't have the right to the compensation. That means the 1 month salary per year of working experience. You are not allowed according to the law. So resignation is not a good way to terminate your labor contract with the company if you want to get the compensation. Okay, so it's better to negotiate a termination contract with the company to get the money. When you resign, normally you have the right to resign within 30 days. That means you have to give 30 days period to the company to resign. But if there is nothing in the contract, and if you don't comply with this 30 days period, it will be very hard for the company to sue you and to say you have to compensate me for the time you resign, for example, for 5 days short notice. Once you resign, you have, of course, to proceed to what we call the handover. That means you have to give back to the company all the materials and the tools of the company, like computer, like phone, like such kind of things. You have to get rid of them, and you have to ask the company to give you a receipt to say, yes, we received from the employee this. And that's it. And then, of course, you will have to sign a paper to say that the company pay you everything they have to pay, and to negotiate the final amount of the compensation of your last salaries and holidays.
What are the legal requirements to respect when laying off someone?
So you have to be very, very careful. It depends of the reason of laid off, but if you fire somebody for serious mistake, the first thing you need to do is to inform the trade union about this dismissal, and it should be preliminary information by writing. If you don't have a trade union, you need to find a trade union in your district or a trade union in your industry, and you have to notify them that you plan to dismiss this employee for this reason at least 1 day in advance to be sure it will arrive on time. Once you inform the trade union, you have to prepare a dismissal letter to be sent to the employee or to be given by hand to give him the legal ground of the dismissal. You are not obliged to provide the evidence in the letter, but you have to clearly define the reason of the dismissal. And the employee has to receive the letter, and you should be able to prove that the employee receives the letter. So it could be by hand if he accepts to resign, to sign the receipt, but most of the time we send that what we call EMS, which is registered letter. Once the dismissal is done, you have to prepare the handover, and you have to ask the employee to proceed with the handover.
Is the law different between provinces in China?
It's not so different. We have a global law, we have the national labor contract law, we have the national labor law. But after each province will have its own regulation, local regulation to interpret the national law. So the practice could be a little bit different from one province to another, from one city to another.